Great. I hope you all had an incredible lunch and that you had a coffee before we start, so you're not just falling asleep in your chairs, because we do have a great panel here for you today. So why don't we just start, guys, with a brief introduction about yourselves, and also maybe give a little bit to the audience the reason kind of why you're on this panel today. What's your connection with your firm to enterprise adoption? Maybe you want to start?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for hear from us. My name is ZHANG, and I'm from Vietnam. I'm founder of Uniultra Foundation, a Web3 blockchain layer 1 based on Hashgraph, and our business model is venture builder. This year, I have a fund about 3 million to fund for Web3 project. So talk to me if you have raised project and you trying to find some funds.
Hello, this is HAISHENG from Zuli Pharma. I'm heading of the eZTracker blockchain product. Our product is the gold standard of the traceability and the connectivity in the pharmaceutical supply chain industry. Currently, we are working with one of the biggest blockchain network in the whole world, which is called Pharma Ledger Association. Last year, our product also launched to at 6 or 7 countries in Asia, and we got some awards from IDC and Gartner. Yeah, very nice to see you guys.
Hi everyone, my name is Stan. I'm from QCP Capital. I run the ventures team at QCP. For us, we are founded in 2017 in Singapore, based in Singapore as well. For us, we are essentially, a global, digital asset trading firm and a crypto derivatives market maker. We mainly market make crypto options. That's our main business, which is the trading desk. On the venture side, we've been investing since 2018. So we invest in, all segments of the space, ranging from exchanges like Deribit, layer ones like Avalanche, Algorand, data companies like Nansen and Skew. So yeah, that's us in a nutshell.
Fantastic. Thank you all for that introduction. I mean, I think we should start today by understanding a little bit more about the importance of Web3 for enterprises. When we've spoken with enterprises, they often say, well, look, we need to focus on our revenues. We need to focus on kind of like our customer segment, etc. And they seem to say, well, things are going well. We can optimize here and there, but why should we invest further in a technology that is not necessarily plug and play, which is often considered kind of rip and replace? So maybe we can start with, the importance, in your opinion, of Web3 for these enterprises and what they might be missing out on if they do not adopt this technology. So, which is
I believe that the next generation, the next gen of blockchain is a blockchain enterprise, because we focusing. Before I work on blockchain, I work on a lot of traditional business, and I saw that they really want to change the Web 2 to Web 3. But the most important thing is the ecosystem, the platform not good enough for moving from Web 2 to Web 3. And about the technical, this part, and the most important thing is the mindset of the people. They thinking blockchain and cryptocurrency is something like only for the finance system. So they don't believe on it. So before we want they to change from Web 2 to Web 3 about the technical side, we need to have some part to make the people changing on the thinking, on the mindset first. So I'm thinking for the next gen, we cannot only provide the finance system or the technical side. We need to change the mindset of the people. And when they do the business good, they make the value, they make the benefit, everything. So people will change.
Yeah, maybe I can add some. Yeah, I think I totally agree on his point. we need to change the mindset. This is very, very important. Maybe I just share some of my business because I'm in the pharmaceutical industry. So there are a lot of challenges, a lot of the silos across the supply chain, pharmaceutical supply chain. Our customers, most of our customers are the leading pharma company. So when they ship the drug from the CMO, the contract manufacturer, to their warehouse until to the cargo, to the custom, to the Zuli Pharma warehouse, until the the last mile delivery to the customer, right? So along this journey, there are so many silos. From manufacturer, they are not able to view the downstream status. From the customer, they are not able to see the status, whether this drug was shipped in a very good condition, whether there are cold chain, the temperature issue in the shipment, right? So there are so many data silos. So how do we do this? How do we address this issue so that we can get the brand protection for the manufacturer and also get the trust from the end user, right? So I think the enterprise blockchain or any type of blockchain is able to share the information, transparent, share the information, from all the participants in the supply chain, so that all the information are transparent across all the participants. And then over time, the end user will gain the trust. The pharmaceutical company, they can also get the transparency for the better management, inventory management, and the better brand protection. So I think this is very important for us, any industry, including pharmaceutical industry, to adopt the new technology, including blockchain. Yeah.
Fantastic. And Stan,
you talked about transparency and trust, and that's the one thing I want to focus on. For us as a crypto options trading firm and an early investor in the space, we've been an institution for quite a while, and we believe that institutionalization in a Web3 way helps bring about transparency and trust in the space. With regard to transparency, when you look at all the incorrect reporting by Credit Suisse, you look at the bank runs not only in traditional banks but also CeFi exchanges on the crypto side. I believe that transparency, will be the key to helping users decide where to put their money, or alerting users to on potential, avoiding potential situations like that, and also of course preventing fraudulent reporting. So transparency is definitely one of the things to zoom in on.
Fantastic. And I mean, I want to focus now on how they can actually do so, right? Because there's a bit of irony when it comes to Web3 on the basis of there are kind of no barriers to entry in getting into Web3, but at the same time, for enterprises, there are quite a few. It's not so easy to just kind of be like, oh, one day to the next, we're going to be more transparent, gain more trust, and just adopt blockchain. So in your eyes here, and we have different perspectives, how can enterprises today adopt Web3? Maybe you want to start.
Very nice question. Because the Web3 is a long story, we cannot take the old Web2 to Web3 immediately. So we need to start from the small thing, like changing the mind. Like for example, every business have three important things: is quantity, timing, and the fee. We need to make a very good product or service in short time and less fee. So when they're moving Web2 to Web3, blockchain can help the business can make the good product in short time and quantity better. So when we can make a product, any product in short time, less fee, cheaper, and quantity better. So business can make benefits and people see the values. So we start from the small thing, but make the people see the value when they apply blockchain and Web3. So after that, they will changing a little bit and changing. This is the process. So how the business, real business with adoption with the Web3. I think this.
Yeah, I agree on this. This will take time. If the customer know the value, slowly, step by step, they will adopt with more and more people adopt this network or this ecosystem, the value will be much, much bigger over time. So I think the answer for me is that it will take time. Back to the enterprise, the pharmaceutical industry, right? Most time when we share our use case, share our solution to the customer, we always tell our customer that please don't build a solution by yourself, because you cannot build your own, invent your own wheel, right? For no reason. We have not a lot of solution in the market, but for the enterprise blockchain, there are not a lot of options for us to choose. Not a lot, but for us, for the customer, right? So you need to share your pain point, your business, and then you can select a very high reputation enterprise blockchain solution so that you can co-create the business, right? So this is a real solution to address a real world use case, a real world pain point, not to create a new solution and then you find a use case to address that, right? So this is totally different. So over time, you will see the value, right? Then you will see more transparency, more less cost wastage, and more more adoption for your customer. So over time, when you get more adoption, when you get more customer, more participants to onboard in your network, the blockchain networks is more valuable if and only if you have more people, more participants, right? So this is true. So over time, we will share this experience to the industry, to the other industry, to the other, even our competitors, right? So when we apply this, when we adopt more participants in the network, then we will be successful. This will also take time. I mean, everything will take time, a longer time or shorter time.
Fantastic. Stan, you have anything to add there on kind of like how enterprises can really adopt blockchain technology?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, understanding this very multifaceted and very nuanced culture of the crypto community is very important. You have like a wide variety of people, right? People who are Bitcoin maxis, ETH maxis, people who believe in a multi-chain world, people who so on and so forth, many different philosophies and many different ways of how people communicate online, on Twitter and on Discord, which is where crypto lives. So I think really understanding how this culture operates and speaks to one another is extremely important. And I think what enterprises can do to sort of make that happen and adopt Web3 is twofold. First, your investors. Oftentimes when I meet founders, they often tell me, Web3 native VCs and very Web2 VCs like your Sequoias and your Tiger Globals often have sing the same song in their own rights. So Web2 VCs, sing the same song. Web3 VCs have a different view, but generally say the same thing. So I think it's important for founders who wish to incorporate Web3 into their enterprises to bring on board a mix of Web2 native and Web3 native investors. Secondly, would be your hiring practices. Hiring a mix of both crypto natives and also people from traditional tech or traditional businesses. I think looking at QCP when we were founded back in 2017, it's a mix of hiring crypto natives and people from traditional finance, former equities and FX options traders. And I think that synergy helps give both sides of the coin and allows an enterprise to both have good practices taken from traditional businesses and also that dynamic and forward thinking of crypto and Web3.
Yeah, it's a great one. The communication side is always very important, and bringing in a mix and a diverse investor board is also. And if we look at from an enterprise side and kind of those Fortune 500 companies and the likes, and a little bit their reluctancy of adoption nowadays. I mean, I'd like to talk about that side of things in terms of the behavior. We often say that prices don't mean much, and even though there are cycles of volatility, bull and bear markets, that builders keep on building. But what we've seen from an enterprise side, at least what I've seen when interacting with enterprises, is that let's say last year, early or on in 2022, when we were speaking with a lot of enterprises and we did some POCs and MVPs with some of the largest companies in the world, it was great. Things were going smoothly. But as soon as the market turned and started going down, they ended up either kind of completing the POC but not going forward with an actual, putting it live to their consumers. However, the enterprises that did go live with their actual kind of like POC and kind of started adopting the technology are now actually doubling down. So we just had conversations with the likes of Lacoste, L'Oreal, PVH, etc., who started adopting the technology for their customers and are now doubling down on the usage and are still working with it. All the others that were close to that finality of going public but didn't, ended up not following through. So I want to talk a little bit about this kind of reluctancy to jump in maybe and kind of not only dip your toes, because I think we've all seen most of the largest organizations in the world have dipped their toes into Web3, you know, be it the Starbucks, the Disney and the likes. But a lot of them, you know, they've gotten cold feet after dipping their toes in. So maybe we can talk a little bit about that reluctancy, and are you still seeing that reluctancy, and what can kind of change that for enterprises? How can they, not only dip their toes, but jump headfirst into the Web3 pond that we see? I mean, what are your thoughts, Neiman?
About this thing, because when we working on the blockchain and cryptocurrency industry, so we know and we understand our industry. We understand our market. Then, but people still focus a lot on finance system. They only use a project like a finance project, and so when the market go down, people cannot turn. They cannot turn because they don't have change. They're not focusing a lot on technical to solve any real life problem. They focusing on the finance system. So when the market go down, people cannot turn. They have no change. They need to follow the market, and they cannot survive. That's the important thing. That's so why myself in past 5 years, I'm not join any finance chain before. I'm only focusing on the technical side to building our product. And this time, I'm thinking is very good time to start like our product, because the market really in the bottom already. So when we stay there, we start any project and we go up is better. So for the people thinking, I think we are the people who's working on the crypto market need to change their mind. Cannot only focusing on the finance system. So if we not focus on the finance system, we make the product really has value for real life, then we don't care about the market go up or go down. This is my thinking. So this most important thing, the changing the people who work on our market, and also for now myself, I'm working with some people in Vietnam government. So the government, they also want to change the mind. But if the market makes the people losing money or something is not good, so the government, they cannot support some industry that not make any venues. So for us, I'm thinking we need to change, for the technical, for investment, for supporting, we need to focus on make the project who make the venue for real life. This is my thing.
Yeah. But I think, I think you don't need to change your industry, because I'm working in pharmaceutical industry. So I always envy you guys who are working in finance sector or the cryptocurrency or bank, right? Because in this area, or even to see to the end user, you have so many adopters. But in the pharmaceutical industry, there are not a lot. not a lot. Yeah, so just don't change your industry. I think the reluctance is everywhere all the time. You know, for me, when I heard about the blockchain or the cryptocurrency, I was like, what the value of this thing? You know, all the numbers or address, right? What's the value of that? Now, it took me a long time to understand the uniqueness of the Bitcoin, uniqueness of all the NFT, everything, right? So it took me time. But over time, when you realize the importance, when you realize the value, then you will slowly, you know, adopt this as even as your career for me, for myself, right? So back to my pharmaceutical industry, even though I don't like that much, but still I'm working in here. Truly, I see some of the reluctance from this industry for sure. Two parts of that. The first part is for the business point of view, because there are a lot of legal compliance restriction from the company, from the industry, from the country, from the market. There are a lot of them, so they are not allowed to share a lot of information, the customer information, the unique serialization ID for the drug, everything. Another part of that is a technical reluctance, because for most of the guys, they are not very familiar with the Web3 technology, the blockchain, because they only think blockchain equals Bitcoin. You know, they are not aware of the public blockchain or the enterprise blockchain. You know, they only think that in the blockchain, the TPS, the throughput is very, very small, it's very slow, and all the information in the network will be exposed to everyone. So I don't have any of my privacy. I cannot keep any of my confidential information. So everything in the network will be shared to all these guys. That's not the worst case. The worst case is that for me, my information will be shared to my competitors. This is a disaster. So I think, fortunately, most of our customers in the pharmaceutical industry, they are quite open. They are quite, you know, forward-looking. You know, they know there are a lot of cutting-edge technology in the world. So they want to start with some of MVP or POC to see whether this new technology can help my business, to help this ecosystem. So from us, we also, you know, as I said, we have launched our product in the 7 of the country and market in Asia. So we are also working with Pharma Ledger Association, which is the biggest, you know, blockchain network in the whole world. There are 15 leading pharma companies, together with some of the other university and institution and some of the service vendors. So we want to build a universal standard for the pharmaceutical industry pinpoint, so that none of any of our company or none of us can address this issue by only us. So this pinpoint can only be addressed as an association. So I think there are some things that we are doing, but still, you know, this will take time for the industry, for the whole world to accept this Web3, the new technology.
Yes, and it's probably easier as well when you have an industry that operates in kind of 10 to 20 year cycles like the pharma one does, as opposed to maybe, let's say, the finance or other industries that are like every couple of years, things are moving and changing. And I mean, another one here that, Stan, we can approach is kind of the reluctancy also on the basis of kind of like the whole PR kind of side of things. Before, it used to be cool, you know, to launch a blockchain project, and people were like, oh, you have your office in the Metaverse, this is great, etc. And now if you say that to someone, they'll be like, oh, really? So does that kind of, the whole kind of PR angling play a role to the reluctancy in some enterprises kind of adopting this technology, or what do you think?
Yeah, to answer your question, SHERAZ, you know, yes, there is reluctance, but there's also a lot of interest. You know, like what you mentioned, you know, Starbucks, all these big name brands, you know, Nike, Tiffany, have adopted blockchain in maybe NFTs or whatever, and making their own Web3 projects. I think the main reason why they are reluctant to do so is because of a lack of knowledge and understanding. You know, often, and so I agree with what both of you said, right? There is a lot of noise, there's a lot of bad incidents that can happen, but it is up to you to get educated.
FTP, Luna.
Yeah, it's up to you to get educated and to be able to discern the good from the bad. Just like in finance itself or in traditional businesses, there's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad. Likewise with this. And so, just to tell an anecdotal story, my first job was, I was an underwriter at AIG. Back then, this was when I just graduated university in 2018. I was doing crypto in my free time. Before that, just trading it and also after work at night. And no insurer was actually insuring crypto institutions and even the world's biggest ones. And what I suggested I was just an entry-level executive, and what I suggested to management was, hey, like, there's a big gap in the market here. You can insure or be the first mover to provide insurance coverage and various products to crypto institutions around the world. And it was shut down immediately. And in my opinion, this is a clear example of how a lack of understanding and knowledge has brought about reluctance. And everyone is fair to have their own opinion, but just give it a shot and learn about it rather than judge it first and don't see anything and have your own conclusions. That's my opinion, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, everyone wants to be that smart follower, but few want to be that kind of, let's say, bold leader to just kind of go out and do it. I know we've often seen within enterprise adoption, and here I think saying this one is for you, around kind of the battle between public and private blockchains, right? And you probably get it a lot, having developed within like R3 Corda, Hyperledger, and the likes. And I hope both of you will on the panel will be able to give some contradicting thoughts as well to kind of this whole battle. Because for those of you in the audience that don't know, the whole kind of private to public blockchain side of things is always kind of quite a tough one. Is it centralized? Is it not? And the likes. So yeah, maybe you can kick us off, Zhang, and give us some perspective as to why you chose to develop on a private blockchain as opposed to a public one.
Okay, so when I was in R3 3 years back, one of the key questions was asked is R3 called a blockchain or not? And then for now, I think the public blockchain and the private blockchain are always under debate, right? For the public blockchain, they may argue that the enterprise blockchain or permission blockchain is not a true blockchain because they are not truly decentralized, not open to everyone in the whole world, right? But I think the argue is there, but for the public blockchain or the permission or enterprise blockchain, there are different use cases. Yeah, so as long as we can address the issue, address the pain point for the real world, as long as we have this real world use case, then that's okay. Be it DLT, be it blockchain or Metaverse or NFT, whatever, as long as you can address the pain point. So for the enterprise blockchain, I think it's very, very good solution for the for some of the 2B use case, right? For the 2B scenario, like I want to have a traceability, I want to have a trace and track. I also want to prevent the counterfeiting drugs, back to my pharmaceutical industry. And also you also want to share the immutable audit record to the government or to anyone who doesn't need to trust you or who doesn't trust you, right? So in this case, I think the enterprise blockchain is a very good use case, for us to apply. But back to the public blockchain, I think, last week I just went to the WorldCoin to record my iris in there. So I think this is a very, very good use case for the public blockchain to really create a ID for the whole world, 8 billion users, right, across the whole world. So I think both enterprise blockchain, public blockchain, and the enterprise blockchain, they are trying to solve the real world use case. So for me, my personally, because currently I'm working for the enterprise blockchain, but still I have some plan to work for some of the public blockchain project. so that I may get some fortune.
Fantastic. And both of you, I mean, I know that you're majoritarily looking at public blockchains. I mean, what do you think about what ZHANG just said?
Okay. Before to sharing my opinion about the public and private blockchain, I want to remind you guys to understand the structure of business. We need to understand that first we need to have the infrastructure, then we have project and business, and we have customer. That means B to B to C. About this structure, we need to focusing. Firstly, we need to focusing on the infrastructure. That means the technical side. That means the laws and the legal side from the government, everything. But now, every people only do the second part. That means business to business. They make the project to get the customer and foremost the thing and make the price of the token go up, go down, everything. So by this way, we're not focusing on the rules. We're focusing on the top. That's a public blockchain now focusing on. So in this opinion, in this a lot of people when they do the blockchain like this, the project like this, the founder can become billionaire, but the user of this project can be losing. That thing is this is not good for the market, not good for the people when they're thinking. Any founder of the project, when they succeed, they have become the millionaire, but the people who are the user of the project cannot earn anything. They're losing the money. So we need to turn back. We need to turn back to do the infrastructure. We need to do the infrastructure so everyone later the project can be better and the user, they have the value, they have benefit on it. So the whole market can become better. So I'm thinking is public or private blockchain is not like arguing. We need to follow up the structure. We need to do the private first and then we do the public. Then everyone can get the value on this. So not like now things own the people when the founder when they do the blockchain project, they only focusing on the top parts. I'm thinking we need to focusing on the rules part first. So is this my opinion about this, the public and private blockchain right now, and that's the reason why the next big thing is when the blockchain for enterprise.
Okay, so taking it back to the grassroots here, having a more hybrid approach. I mean, Stan, are you as diplomatic as that, or are you a strong believer in something?
To be honest, I was never aware that there was a battle between public and private blockchains. I always felt that public and private chains can coexist. And you really actually have seen that in the past 2-3 years, right? One of our portfolio companies, Avalanche, last year launched subnets, so customized private blockchains for protocols. You see that with Polygon, where Polygon launched their supernets. You see that in Cosmos, where Cosmos launched their zones. You see that in Arbitrum recently, where they released Orbit, right? Where these public blockchains are releasing private customized solutions, where they create private customized blockchains for their clients, right? So, and there are also, right, standalone private blockchain solutions as well. So, in my opinion, there hasn't been a war. These public blockchains have found a way to come up with a new vertical or new solution that leverage of a private customized blockchain that leverages on the technology such as like a consensus method of their main public chain. So in my opinion, I think that they can coexist.
Fantastic. So we will not see a fight on stage today. But wonderful. No, that's really good. I do agree with the hybrid model. And as we're slowly creeping towards the end of our panel here today, maybe we can get a little bit of a thought on kind of what's next in the adoption of enterprise grade blockchains. What are you specifically going to be doing in the coming, let's say, 6 months, year, 2 years, 5 years to be able to support in that adoption? And your future of Web3. Maybe, Stan, if you want to start first, Stan?
Yeah, sure. I think in terms of adoption, oftentimes if you take a person who's non-crypto native or unacquainted, and you try and get them to use a non-custodial wallet or interact with a DeFi protocol, oftentimes they'll get really lost. And so I think a big key to adoption, some people may say it's regulation, transparency. To me, it's UI UX. Non-natives don't even know what's going on or how to interact with stuff. And so, I look forward to the day that people who want to interact with Web3 protocols, they don't even know they're interacting with blockchain. It's like as though you're using your PayLah or Venmo or Cash Apps today. And that's, as an investor in VC, that's what I try to tell and emphasize to founders and our portfolio companies is to focus on UI UX. And I guess, apart from being an investor, how QCP has been contributing to the space is for us, as an early pioneer and one of the first movers into crypto options back in 2018, I would say we have built the financial backbone of the crypto space from a finance point of view, where we've opened up, access and investment opportunities to our investors, be it institutions like high net worth individuals, hedge funds, family offices, treasuries, DAOs, crypto native institutions, true option strategies like vanilla puts and calls, more complex ones like butterflies, iron condors, and exotics. And also been helping crypto companies grow, right? For example, like Nansen, they were close to being a unicorn, and also Deribit, which we are users of. And so I guess that's how we've been contributing to this space.
Thank you.
My turn. Okay. So I think just echo Stan's point, right? My view or my vision, my dream in the future for the Web3 is that in the future, anytime when we do anything, there are Web3 and underground as the infrastructure, as if what we are doing for the internet for now. So you are not able to view that you don't need to know that there's a Web3 running underneath, right? So this is my dream of the Web3 in the future. Back to the enterprise use case, I think for now, my view in the next, I don't think I can predict 1 or 2 years or 3 or 6 months, but just my vision for the future is that we will have more successful use case in the future in all of the industry, and not only just in the cryptocurrency or in the finance sector, because these two industries are well adopted to the Web3, right? So we will apply this Web3 use case to a lot of the other industry with more and more participants, more and more successful use case. Then we will have more and more participants in the blockchain network, in the Web3 world. Then we will have we will be much easier in the future to apply this to the whole world. I think this will be a long journey. Honestly, will be a long journey. But over time, I think we will see this success.
Yeah, myself, I truly believe in next 2 years to 3 years, we will see the big thing on the blockchain enterprise. Because I have a lot of them, they working for the venture, they have money, but now they cannot fund for any project because the project can not stable for funding. And I also know a lot of builder. They build a good project but cannot get the fund because the point of view is different. So actually, when the venture, when they have with the builder, they have same point of view, same angles, then they can meet and project can get some money and very fast. We will see the big thing. So myself, I believe on 2025 or 2028 something, we will see very big thing on changing on blockchain and AI system in our world. This myself.
Okay, fantastic. Hopefully we can hold on for that long. Wonderful. As we slowly get to the end here, only a couple of minutes remaining, I wonder if the audience has any questions for our panelists here today. Anyone? I don't know if we can get a mic to the sir in the pink shirt over there.
Hello. Thanks very much for sharing your views. So I am from the TradFi side of the industry, and right before this panel session, there was a session around CBDCs and stable coins, etc. So it was mentioned about the reluctance of moving into Web3 earlier. From a traditional bank perspective, in many cases, we are reluctant because I'm not sure which side of the equation comes first, but we are waiting for the actual adjacent industries to digitalize as well as adopt blockchain as well as move into Web3. So these are the use cases that we see to move quicker into the Web3 from a bank perspective. But so what I wanted to find out more from the panel today was where are we in terms of different enterprises adopting blockchain as well as moving into Web3. And I think some examples of pharma was given today. So long story short, my question is, in your view, which side of the equation comes first? Would you wait for the likes of the banks or the finance world to come onto the equation, come onto the stage first, or do you also agree with me that it is the enterprise that needs to adopt and we follow, because from how things have evolved in the past, we are the follower of our customers and enterprises. So, I do like to share that view because that will help me to go and convince my stakeholders internally to move more quickly into moving into the Web3. Yeah. I hope you got my question.
Thank you.
It was a long-winded question.
It's a little bit of a chicken and the egg one.
Exactly. It's a chicken and egg question.
Stan, guys, do you?
Yeah, so, as I mentioned earlier, crypto trading and also crypto Web3 investment has always been at the core of our business since our founding. And, for us at QCP, we've always been for regulation, right? Regulation would pave the way for good behavior and good practices in the space. And what I can tell you is that at QCP, even before the talk of regulation ever existed, we've always had very similar practices to banks when it comes to things like KYC, AML, and all these compliance practices as well, because we wouldn't want to, wait for regulation to come and then take steps back to sort out our operations and the way we do things, and then it will affect our business running. So what I can tell you is that we've always been having practices as if we were regulated even before there was any talk of regulation in the past. So I guess, maybe I'm not answering your question directly, but I guess that can give an indication of what you could do if you are a company in a jurisdiction that has no regulation.
Yeah, okay, maybe my view is that because most of the time when we deliver a product, we don't launch that in one shot. Instead, we will launch a MVP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess in this case, maybe we will launch MVP 1 to strictly follow the regulation and the rules that exist in the current world. Over time, when the government or the decision maker, they see the value, they will slowly change something or adopt their legal and rules to our digital world. So I think this is my view. Yeah, this will, just as the guy said, right? This is a chicken egg issue. So we will provide our egg side or the chicken side. These two sides will evolve over time, step by step. Maybe one side is slower, another side is a bit faster, but over time this will achieve an agreement.
Oh, myself, I will answer for your question very quickly because we over time already. Utility need to go first. Anyway, utility need to go first. Then we need to make some case study, so the government, everyone can see the value, and we see that the blockchain enterprise or something can make the benefit, make the value for the real time. So the CDBC or the government, they will come up later with the legally, the law, everything. So utility always need to go first. We need to make the case study for people to see first. That.
Fantastic, wonderful. Well, that was great. Thank you all for listening in. I think that's the bell that we do need to close out quite soon. So let's give our panelists a round of applause. Thank you so much.